I mean, it's good that Pontiac's actually putting this race on for the Pro Stock guys out here. Gives you a little warm up, you know, for the first race.
Traditionally, the guy that wins this race usually turns out having a pretty good season, and I want to have a pretty good season.
I'm over New Year's Eve and Christmas and all that good stuff. It's time to start racing again.
From the strip at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway in Las Vegas, Nevada, this is the 2007 Pontiac Pro Stock Showdown. Hi everybody, I'm Bill Stevens, and what is the Pontiac Pro Stock Showdown? Well, it's a preseason event for the NHRA Powerade Pro Stock drivers that is twofold. To do a little preseason testing before the season begins for real in Pomona, and secondly, well, there's a 4-round, 16-car elimination program that tops off the weekend for $5,000 just to let the boys mix it up a little bit. Well, here's the question. Are they really going to let it all hang out and show all their cards before the season begins, or are they going to play a little liar's poker and not really unleash everything that they have until they get to the regular season? Well, all the big shooters are here this weekend. In fact, the reigning 2006 Powerade champ. He's with Doc Riley.
He is the reigning Pro Stock World Champion. And Jason, how important is this weekend for the rest of your season?
Well, I think it kind of sets the tone for how everything's going to go. So, especially in the first couple races, because you know what we have is what we have, and we better hope we brought enough.
What do you look for specifically this weekend? Any big changes in the way that you're going to be racing this weekend, or the way that your team is set up? There is some big changes for us. We have some personnel changes, which is kind of huge. We've had the same people for the last 4 years, and now all of a sudden we have some new ones, and the veterans are gone. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to take a while to get all of us acclimated with how to do our jobs again. So. Also, we have a new engine, possibly. We're working on the DRC E3 engine, and we have it in one of the cars. So we're going to do some testing on that. First time they've ever been down the racetrack, so it'll be interesting.
Let's get right to the first round. That is Mike Edwards in the Young Life Pontiac GTO, number 7 qualifier. He's got Tom Martino, near lane, both guys killers on the Christmas tree. That proved my point. Edwards with a perfect triple hole light. Martino no slouch, 006, but it's Mike Edwards all the way. 673.5 at over 204 miles an hour. Take a look at this on replay. Both guys off the line like a couple of cruise missiles, but at the stripe by half a car length, it's Mike Edwards.
That's the way to get that done. Near perfect reaction time. And just your thoughts on that pass.
I guess I closed my eyes if it was near perfect reaction time. We're just having fun, trying to get these things tuned up for next week, so here we go.
Back at the line, Jason Line. We just spoke to him a few moments ago. So far this weekend, the performance has not been there. He's only qualified in the 9th slot, and he's up against that sophomore sensation, Max Naylor, and the Jägermeister Dodge Stratus. Naylor gets the drop on Line's GTO at the green. And makes it pay off. Max Naylor puts out the reigning champion, 674.204.
That's the way to start off the new year, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased about that.
How important is this weekend for you guys?
Well, it's very important. You know, it's we worked hard all last year. We thought we were making improvements. We worked hard in the off season, and I think now it's finally starting to pay off. You know, we're happy for the whole Jägermeister team, and if it wasn't for Jägermeister, we couldn't be here.
Back in the starting line, another Pontiac GTO Dodge matchup. That is 2-time champion Jim Yates in the unpainted Pontiac GTO. Over on the other side of the racetrack, in the Western Motorsports Kendall Oil Dodge Stratus, it's V. Gaines. V. Gaines has got 2 victories in his career, both coming in Dallas. Probably wishes we were there today. This is in Dallas. Jim Yates trailers V. Gaines, 674 at over 205 miles an hour. Back at the starting line is Jim Yates engine builder, the legendary Bill Grumpy Jenkins.
That was a wild ride.
So far early in the season, seems like everyone's reaction times are just about near perfect.
Oh, was it good?
It was good.
You know what? I haven't even tried yet this year, and Jamie told me I was sitting in the staging lanes getting ready to pull up here, and he says, Dad, you know this is supposed to be a race. I said, don't worry, I know how to race. That's the easy part. It's qualifying and running fast that we got to work on.
Of course, Jamie is his son, Jamie Yates, who serves as his crew chief. Back at the starting line, it's Jeg Coughlin
running with Dave Connolly and the Cagnazzi Racing Group this season. Coughlin's been struggling all weekend. He's got Kenny Koretsky here in round one. Let's see if Jeggy can pull it together. Whoa, it's Koretsky with trouble, and Jeggy takes the stripe. Yeah, he's off pace though, 677 at 205. I don't think he's going to be happy with that.
Off the qualifying pace just a little bit, but your thoughts on that pass?
Well, not very good. You know, we've unfortunately, I hate to be negative, but we've been really struggling with this hot rod the last 2 days. Yesterday we were quickest to the heap and still not feeling like we're getting the most of it. And today, you know, it's just been one problem after another. And I think we need to pour some Slammers Ultimate Milk in the clutch of this thing, or in the suspension of this thing, or something. We've just got something bugging us. But you know what? You know, that's why we're here at the Showdown. We want to get things. We want to show well, but we also want to be ready for Pomona next week.
Well, as Jeggy douses his race car with milk, we'll take a break and be right back. This Outdoor Channel telecast of the Pontiac Pro Stock Showdown is powered by Pontiac and the 260 horsepower Solstice GXP, and by O'Reilly Auto Parts, home of the professional parts people. Here's Doc.
The Showdown carries no points with it. This guy knows what it's like to be number one, but you've got a unique situation because entering this season, you're the challenger, not the champ.
Yeah, no longer number one. Number two going on the car this year, and we hope to rectify that. Hope to get that number one back, obviously. I rather enjoyed that number one being on the car. I got used to it, and I like the fact that I was the guy they were shooting for, the guy with a big bullseye on my back, I guess. Maybe some people don't like it at first. Maybe I didn't at first. After a while, I seemed to like it. I want it back, without a doubt. Very proud of my teammate, Jason, for taking it away, but I want to take it back away from him, and here's where we're going to start right here.
We see this kind of disturbing trend here with all of this linen and stuff covering up the power plant. What's the deal with that? Is it just that cold?
It's cold out. See, we got to warm it up right there. Warm it up. It's cold out. That's all. That's the only reason we cover it.
Hey, we'll see Greg Anderson in just a few moments racing an old friend of his, but that's Dwayne Rice, who's into the show because he replaces Erica Enders, whose car broke just before the first round began. He's taking on Greg Stanfield, the number 3 qualifier. Stanfield, right side of your screen, and that Bart Price-owned Pontiac GTO. Stanfield, wire to wire, 673 at over 204 miles an hour.
Well, a 673 to take the win. Your thoughts on that pass?
Awesome pass for the session there. Track's a little loose. We're going to have to work on the setup. But I will say this, being an engine builder and running as good as it is, definitely satisfied with it.
Now we got 2 Dodges, 2 teammates side by side. Alan Johnson and Richie Stevens Jr. Richie Stevens actually employed by Don Schumacher, racing out of Alan Johnson's shop in Greenville, Tennessee. Hey now, Alan Johnson goes into the 660s quicker than anybody's gone so far today to beat Stevens.
Low ET the round. Your thoughts on that one?
Really felt good. Thought it got the tires a little high in the air, but track's awesome, car's working awesome, brand new car. Come out here this morning without any practice and set low ET. That's pretty good for the crew chief, wouldn't you say?
I'd say that's just about perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, no love lost here. There's 6-time Powerade champion Warren Johnson against his former employee. The 3-time Powerade champion, there he is, Greg Anderson. Oh, this is going to be an all-out conflict. Warren Johnson looking to get back into the high ground of the Pro Stock category. His last championship was 2001. Let's watch. Oh! Anderson goes red and trails a plume of smoke as Warren Johnson breezes for the victory. Oh, he's going to love that. 674 at 205.
A 674 on that pass. Just your thoughts on that trip down the old strip.
At least we're going in the right direction. It isn't exceedingly fast, but this GM Parts Pontiac is probably getting a little bit better. We just got to tune her up a little more. At least we got a direction.
All right, there's Warren's son, Kurt Johnson. He's got a tough draw in round 1. It's Dave Connolly, as we mentioned before, teamed up with Jed Coughlin this year, racing for the Vic Cagnazzi Group. And Dave Connolly has had a great weekend so far. That car has been nailed in the low 670s. And Connolly picks off Kurt, another low 670, out of a 670 with a 4 at over 205 miles an hour.
You can relax a little bit. Don't worry about getting out the car too quick. 670. Your thoughts on that pass?
That's definitely a good run. I think that was second quickest for the session. So, I mean, all the guys at Cagnazzi are doing an excellent job. And, I mean, the whole crew, we're excited. I mean, it's, we're finally getting to run competition again. And, that's what all of us drag racers are about, is beating up another guy. So we got one under our belt.
Let's take a look at the second round matchups. Max Naylor, who took out Jason Lyon, will have Warren Johnson. Mike Edwards has Alan Johnson. Other side of the ladder, Yates Coughlin, Connolly, and Greg Stanfield. Well, it is the Pontiac Pro Stock Showdown, so to get a little taste of what goes on behind the scenes at an event like this, we've got a man that can tell you a lot about it. This is Fred Simmons. He's the drag racing marketing manager for Pontiac. And Fred, this isn't a national event. It's got a whole different vibe here. These guys coming out and testing and having a little fun to end the weekend.
Bill, it may be fun, but let me tell you, it's serious out there at the same time. Every one of these guys has worked hard over the winter, both in the dyno room and some testing. But this is the first real shot for 20-plus Pro Stock teams at the same facility to see what they've got for a tune-up for Pomona.
I love this car that we're standing in front of, but this Solstice is just an indication, really, of the performance commitment that Pontiac has had for such a long time, isn't it?
No question about it. This is our 260 horsepower Ecotec turbocharged Solstice GXP. And by the way, the GXP is our new moniker for the up-level performance versions for Pontiac.
Nice ride.
Welcome back to the Pontiac Pro Stock Showdown at the Strip at Las Vegas. Look at that, a stealth bomber landing at Nellis Air Force Base right across the street from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
How do you just tell me the importance of this weekend as far as you guys are concerned?
It's a very important weekend for us. I mean, it kind of, everybody that's going to race at Pomona races here, and it really lets you know where you stand as far as, compared to all the competition. And, we go out here, and it's basically the last shot of testing anything we want to test before the season starts.
Without giving away any secrets, have you guys picked up some noticeable gains here this weekend?
We've made a little gains here and there. I mean, we're still always looking for more, so we got another couple days to try some more things.
Jeggy, you look at this particular situation, you get back into the seat right now. Just your thoughts kind of going into the 2007 season.
Well, they're definitely excited. I'm definitely excited for the 07 Pro Stock season. It's going to be a great year. Having Dave Connolly as a teammate and Slammer's Ultimate Milk behind both of us, I think it's going to be a great effort for both of us. But a little time off last year in 06 seemed to go well. I did a lot of bracket racing and ran the last 3 races of 06, and coming into 07 we've tested a couple times in here at the Pontiac Pro Stock Super Bowl. I think we're running well. We've been struggling with my car, a little electronic gremlin, but I think we're going to get it sorted out. We're in the show, so that's half the battle.
Great to have Jeggy back. All right, let's get into round 2, and these two guys have something in common. They assassinated Team Summit in round 1. That's Max Naylor. He took out Jason Lyon, and he's got Warren Johnson this time. You remember Warren took care of Greg Anderson in the opening frame. At Max Naylor, he's aggravating some people today in that Jägermeister Dodge, but Warren Johnson would like to get 2007 off to a good start. He has not had the kind of performance we're used to seeing from WJ over the last couple of seasons. Naylor does it again, beats Warren handily, 674 at 204.
Well, it seems like we heard earlier that you were a little under the weather this weekend.
I'm as sick as I have ever been in my entire life.
Well, let's hope that you don't have to do that in the future, man. You've taken down a line and now WJ.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm just happy to be here. I want to thank Pontiac for sponsoring this event. We really like coming and running here, and I'm just happy for my whole team. The Jägermeister guys, I mean, they just work their butt off, Since I can't help, we're down some, but, we're excited. We're just happy to be here.
Back at the starting line, it's Jeggy in the Ultimate Slammer's Milk Chevy Cobalt. He's got Jim Yates, a couple of old friends here. They are both 2-time Powerade Pro Stock champions. Jim Yates, although his car is not painted, he tells us he will have a deal in 2007. You see them measuring the wheelie bars. That helps them calibrate that race car when it launches, how far those front wheels can come up. Whoa, baby! Jim Yates with the victory, 673 at 204. He keeps getting quicker.
Another round win and a 673.
Ooh, that's pretty good. A lot better run that run. You know, the track seems to be coming around for us. We're doing a lot of experimenting today because that's what we're here for, to try and test. But getting a win light over Jaggy is always important, so I can't say we slacked off at all.
What kind of areas you working on? Just kind of, give us a little insight.
Well, Grump is working on the engine. I mean, he's really working on carburetors and stuff like that this weekend. It's a free test for us, you know, as far as it doesn't count towards points. So he's really in there trying stuff that he wouldn't try during a normal race. And the good thing is we've got all these other cars here to baseline ourselves against. So if he makes a change, we know exactly how it affected it compared to the field. So we're really focused on the engine. Jamie and I are just working through some clutch pieces and transmission ratios to get the new car happy. But GTO seems to like this combination we got on it right now, I'll tell you that.
We're going to change the color scheme for Pomona and down the line?
Yeah, we got a whole new wrap for the car. That's going to be Wiley X with C-Ray as a co-sponsor for the first 6 races at least. And but we're so busy racing right now, we hadn't had time to get it on the car. It's sort of a shame, but nice new design, just a little change from last year, but it ought to be pretty slick looking.
A couple of more GM hot rods at the starting line. There's Dave Connolly in the Toco Racing Fuel Chevy Cobalt, and he draws Greg Stanfield in the Piranha Z Pontiac GTO. Guys got a couple of things in common. They're both excellent pole shot artists, but they have an extensive career in sportsman racing before moving to the professional ranks. Stanfield, a 4-time Superstock champ, and Dave is a former Division III Super Gas champion. Light for Greg Stanfield, hit the tree too hard. Dave Connolly will take the freebie and run 672 at 205. He'll be happy with that. That car very consistent today.
So you're driving to this point.
I don't know. I think I've maybe improved a little bit, but you know, it's we've changed up the way the car's set up a little bit. So, you know, I've changed my driving style a little bit, and we're gonna try to hit the tree and you know, just pull the shifter on time. That's what we gotta do.
Hitting the tree, that's what it's all about in Pro Stock. Getting off the starting line, usually the barometer of how many round wins you're going to score. This guy knows a lot about it. Remember in round 1, he had a perfect light against Tom Martino. Alan Johnson, no slouch at the starting line either. Let's look. Whoa, within 4,000ths of each other on the launch. But Alan Johnson has to get out of it, and that gives Mike Edwards the easy 676-203 victory.
A 676 and another round win. What do you think about that?
That's great. Anytime you can win a round, that's great. We're having fun. We're testing and racing at the same time, so having fun.
And that sets up our semi-final pairings. Jim Yates will race Max Naylor, and Dave Connolly will have that guy, Mike Edwards. You know, General Motors very concerned with the health and safety of their drivers this weekend. They were conducting hearing tests to make sure that all the noise at the drag races doesn't adversely affect their drivers. This Outdoor Channel telecast of the Pontiac Pro Stock Showdown is powered by Pontiac and the 260 horsepower Solstice GXP, and by O'Reilly Auto Parts, home of the professional parts people. Some more of that menacing aircraft from across the street at Nellis Air Force Base, and there are menacing race cars making their burnouts at the starting line as we get into semifinal action. That was Jim Yates. This is Max Naylor. How about that Max Naylor today? Gets by Jason Line, Warren Johnson, and this is only his 2nd season in Pro Stock. Let's see if Jim Yates, the 2-time champion, can finally put an end to Max Naylor's day. Yep, Max Naylor gets 10 feet off the starting line and calls it quits. Yates cruises 674-204. And after the run, well, he's still got some work to do, shutting everything down.
674.
Uh-oh.
That's been pretty consistent.
We should have been faster now. I mean, the track felt real good out there, but we've been changing the motor tune-up around a little bit in the car a little bit, so you just don't know what it affects. So that's the whole reason we're out here doing this, trying to win some rounds for Pontiac and our fast GTO. It may be white right now, but it's pretty fast, and get a little experience on the track.
Jim Yates, one half of our final round pairing, and now we'll see who Yates will get to face. Oh, that's a smoky burnout from Mike Edwards. He'll be racing Dave Connolly. Edwards finished 4th in the points last year, but Dave Connolly finished 3rd. Oh, and the driver who had the perfect line in round 1 gets bit by the tree. Dave Connolly will take that donation to the final round. Oh, 671 at 205. Good pass.
Nice pass, man.
Oh, definitely. You know, things are going pretty smooth for us today. I mean, you run guys like Mike Edwards and Stanfield, and they're always on their game. And fortunately, they gave us a few gifts, but that's the luck of the draw when we're in Vegas, and I'd rather be lucky and good any day.
671.
671. That's flying for old Chevy Cobalt.
Okay, now you go into an all-GM final up against two-time world champion Jim Yates. Just your thoughts going into the finals?
He's nobody to take lightly, but like I said, this whole Torco team's up for the challenge, and you know, there's nothing more than I'd like to do for Fred Simmons, since he's paying all this big money for these interviews, help down here. But he's done a lot for us, and you know, it's better that Jim Yates took out that Dodge and made it all GM final.
Good call. Mention Fred. I like that. There's your final round matchup right there. Jim Yates against Dave Connolly. All the money is on the table. $5,000 in hard cold cash as Connolly makes his burnout. Over in the far lane, Jim Yates finishing his pre-race preparations. Yates, the two-time Powerade champion, won in 96 and 97, hasn't won a championship since. He is hungry to get that #1 back on his Pontiac GTO. Connolly, you know he's going to press the Christmas tree. He's going to give it everything he has, and I can tell you, whoever leaves first is probably going to finish first. Connolly gets the better reaction time. Stretches is out for the win. 671-204. That's Vic Kignazzi. Let the party begin.
Well, young man, congratulations. A nice bit of work right there. Nice pass.
Definitely. It was track got a little cold and it was a little loose, but I mean, my hat's off to the whole Torco Slammers team. I mean, these guys bust their butts all year. You know, they work winter long. You know, it's a 7-day a week job. Them guys don't complain about it. They get things done, and you know, it's good to pay off, especially here in Vegas. And you know, we're gonna go have a good time tonight.
Well, for a crew, it is kind of a tough deal because during the day it's a little bit warmer, as you mentioned. It chills out a little bit at night, so they've really got to be on top of their game.
Definitely, but you know, Tommy Yutt, our crew chief, he's a bad dude, and I have all the confidence in the world with him, and it's gonna be a great season. I mean, we got Jed Coughlin on our team, and whole Cagnazzi camp's really got a lot to look forward to this year, and I'm just glad to be part of it.
Ah, that kid is good. Next time on Motor Mania, monster truck thunder drags from Lima, Ohio. For Doc Riley, I'm Bill Stevens. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, so long, everybody.